Up, everybody? Clint Esposito here for Skull and Bros number 7. We're going to talk about the book Gender Queer with my man Rasmus. What's going on?
Oh, what's going on, Clint? How are you?
Good. I heard you got a new book that you were really digging and you were reading it.
Yeah,
You
that
wanted to talk about it.
yeah, that Gender Queer is my new favorite book. I read it cover to cover a couple of times last week. It's tremendous, man. It's
Do you feel better about yourself now?
yeah, I feel accepted into society, and I feel like I don't know. I think everyone should read it, especially young people.
Yeah. About high school age?
Yeah, even younger. Why not? Well, let's push it. Why not? It has some. The book covers a lot of very important things for people to know and some good facts. Nah, all jokes aside, I actually haven't read it, but I saw it. And I saw some of your audio just went. I can't hear you at all, bro.
Hello, can you hear me now? Yeah.
Yeah, you're back.
I need to get this one a different plug.
Are we live? Are we on YouTube now?
Yeah, we're live. Somebody should be mad about the sound.
Yeah. I'm sure we're fine, dude.
Let me see. Here, yeah, let me pull it up. Yep, we're live.
Awesome.
So,
Are
yeah,
we go are we live on Rumble also, or is it working now?
let me see. Rumble. Why did Rumble all of a sudden stop working?
Wasn't it the same last week?
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Let me hit live. Yeah, it stopped working last week, and now it's not working again.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll have to fix Rumble. But anyway, we're on YouTube.
Good enough.
Good enough.
Until they take us down.
Good enough for government work. We got 50%.
Yeah,
50%
exactly.
success rate. That's good enough. Um, yeah, so you can watch, like you said, the things will be a little bit delayed for you. But, so,
What do you mean? For me?
yeah, like if you're watching, trying to watch what we're posting.
Oh yeah. I got YouTube up. It's a bit delayed, but
Yeah,
I just watched to see the comments mostly. What's up, Ryan?
nice. All right, so we're talking about gender queer. So I have a story pulled up here where it's the most challenged book of 2021. And if you, I can't wait for you to see this little thing come up. She's obviously Maya Kobabe is a cartoonist,
hmm
I'm assuming, because it's a big cartoon book, which is also a little bit weird. But it's like, please leave the queer books on the library shelves where the queer teens can find them. As a queer teen, I desperately needed them, and the queer teens of today need them too. Isn't that nice?
But
So
we have Google now. Like you don't actually need them books.
that's true.
Like you can just maybe when she grew up, she didn't have, the access that we do. But
Well, the
uh,
okay. So first, let's go honors and awards. It won the 2020 Alex Award. I don't know what
what
that
is
is.
that?
I don't know. It won the 2020 Stonewall Book Award. It was nominated for a bunch of other stuff. Um, Chicago Public School Graphic Novels List. It was nominated. In 2021, it was nominated for the Garden State Teen Book Awards. Iowa High School Battle of the Books. Jefferson County, Kentucky Public School recommended reading grades 9 to 12.
And
School,
just for reference, what grade 9? What age is that for US?
you're a freshman, so you're probably like 13 or 14.
Oh, okay.
Um, where was it? School Library Journal 17 immense graphic novels for teens. Summer reading. This is crazy
Summary.
that they were nominated for these things.
Well, it's not that crazy. I mean, Bruce Jenner is Woman of the Year after. 6 months as a woman. Like
I I guess
it is crazy, but
if you use that as your metric, then I guess no, it's not crazy.
you know, yeah. Isn't that crazy as fuck? I mean, if I turn, so if I what's today is May. If I go, I'm a woman from May, and then in May, like in September, or let's say October, they have the Woman of Sweden Awards, and I win it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that? Dude, I might go for it actually. It seems like these people get famous and get rich.
That's
So
the exactly the whole Dylan Mulvaney thing. I'm like, he didn't even
yeah.
chop his dick off, didn't even take hormones. I'm like, I just transitioned yesterday, guys. This is day 2. You're in
Yeah, he
on
got
the
no skin in the game.
yeah. Fuck. I mean, that sounds. I gotta prance around a little bit. Is that what I gotta do?
Yeah, put on a bra to cover up your
Nipples.
imaginary tits. Yeah,
We're not even done with what it was nominated for. The
keep going.
Denver Public Schools Top 100 for High Schools. ALA Rainbow Project Book List. I mean, that one sounds like it fits. Best Graphic Novels for Teens list from YALSA. I don't know what that is. Texas Library Association Maverick Graphic Novel Reading List. Howard Public Schools, Maryland, Best of the Year. There's some other weird word. New York Public Library's 50 Best Books for Teens. So it's like funny that one, Kentucky is in there. I don't imagine Kentucky to be the most progressive
They're
state.
pretty conservative, no?
That's what I thought. And
Yeah.
Texas. So like it's obvious that as a whole people don't know that these books are in places, right? Because
Yeah.
like it's obviously just some school, the Texas Library Association. The rest of the state has no idea about the Texas Library Association, what they're doing,
No,
obviously.
of course not. Of course
Um,
not.
and then we have challenges. It says reviews, but I'm sure it's everybody being pumped about it. Uh, but it's funny. Where is genderqueer being challenged or outright banned? Everywhere. Wake County, North Carolina. Where is it? Oh, books ruled controversial pulled from Wake County public libraries. Community groups raise concern about censorship of whatever, Alphabet Mafia, affirming book. Um, there was a couple Wake County librarians protest genderqueer book removal. Here's one that says the Proud Boys join in effort to ban genderqueer book from school library. The Proud Boys is like a
Isn't that like Antifa, but the other way around?
yeah,
Like,
exactly. It's like a
yeah.
Aryan type group or something like that. But
Yeah.
it's funny that they put that in there like
Yeah.
they you know what I mean? They're just trying to be like, "Ah, dude, only far right people are trying to get rid of it."
Yeah, only
Um
the Nazis don't like
exactly.
this book. Yeah.
Exactly. Wayne, New Jersey, controversial book at the center of chaos at Wayne school board meeting. Why are they trying to put this into every school everywhere? Because that's like an hour away. I honestly wouldn't have thought that, and it's not like so where the town we're talking about. I guess we should have shown the clip, which that's the only clip I could find of that of basically Roxbury High School having it in their library. This is what brought it all up. Actually, the whole thing. I saw a clip on Facebook where it was like Roxbury High School uh, librarians like mad that all these people, for defamation or whatever, because they said that she was a pornographer or a groomer or something. So I'm like, oh shit, that's the high school I went to. So then I started looking into the book at all to be like, what's actually in the book? Because even I guess we'll play that. Let me yeah, I'll play the
Dude,
video.
I'm just gonna run and get some water real quick.
Okay.
It's parents versus the school librarian over some books that are geared toward the LGBTQ community. That high school librarian selected the books in question, and the Roxbury Board of Education approved them. But just before school started, the librarian said she came under attack online by a group of parents.
Called me a pornographer and said, look what's happening in Roxbury High School.
One of the books in question is called Gender Queer. The parents objected to what they call pornographic images in the book. The verbal attacks on the librarian continued during board meetings, and she claims it got personal.
That I should be fired, that, called me a pornographer and all sorts of things.
So
It's
they
parents versus the school librarian over some books that are
so
They're calling me a pornographer.
that's what brought it up. So in that clip, and I wish I should have pulled it out into final draft or final cut so I could actually go through frame by frame, because in the beginning there are a bunch of, or just through the whole thing, a bunch of those clips are not in the book. Let me see if I can pull it up and just get rid of sound on this.
It's parents versus the school librarian over some books that are geared toward the LGBTQ.
There we go. Okay. It actually paused it. That's not in the book. The girl, see, that's another book. And they did say that this was one of the books they were trying to ban. So there are a bunch of pictures in here.
Q community. That high
Hold on,
school
let me stop
librarian
it
selected
again.
the books.
Like, this is not from that book. Which still shows a guy having a girl that might be pregnant bent over. It's like, what is this in other books in the
And the
school?
Roxbury Board of Education approved them.
Yeah, how
Okay,
many sex books did they put in the school?
I don't know. This is the point. Like, so this one that they have, it would evolve into hip thrusting, yada yada. That's from this book.
Hmm.
And
Before
it's
school
two
started, the
dudes,
librarian said
or it looks
she
like
came
two
under
dudes.
attack online by.
Okay, this.
Well, I mean, my whole problem with this is not that it's like LGBT, whatever. That doesn't really matter. Like, just don't put, because to be honest, we had like sex ed when I was probably 14,
Yeah.
and that was just a fucking huge waste of time. I honestly don't think kids need that in school.
Well,
Not today.
you can't.
Why would you? You can learn anything, and they will because they're interested in sex
Yeah.
at that age. So you're gonna go and look at stuff like this anyways.
Like, but the stuff that they have in here is not pertinent to you learning about how everything works.
No, it's more like a doggy style is nice.
Well, we'll just go to the book here. So I got the book pulled up, and I'll just skip through a bunch of it because it is long as fuck. Here's one of the things I did notice from the book. Her parents were or I guess we're gonna say her. They didn't want. They're an E. First off, they go by E. Is their gender E? I don't know.
What's that?
I have zero idea what an E is.
It's LGBTEQ.
No, it's after all that. They put it to the end. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So they're like super progressive people living out in the middle of nowhere, California. The mom never shaves her legs. Ever. Probably not her armpits either. The dad has long hair. Like, they're both educated, the parents, because she put what they did. They had like doctorates and stuff. And the whole thing is just, she's like, a lot of the things she's upset about in the beginning is them acting like she's like in school, kids getting mad and being like, oh, girls have cooties, because she just hung out with, it's hard to understand because even, I didn't follow completely because it's like the person she grew up with, I guess, was Galen as a guy. She never really says what they are for a while until you get later into the thing. So it's hard to figure out if the other one's also a girl or I think that was a boy. So then
So the main character is a girl.
The main character is was a girl.
And so far it looks kind of like just a normal book.
Yeah. But I
like
mean, if you go,
for queers or whatever.
yeah, if you go
Yeah.
through all this, so here she took her shirt off, was in the water, and everybody got, oh, you got to put, your shirt back on. And this just seems like things in society where her parents should have had a conversation with her. Like her parents are very progressive, it seems like,
Hmm.
which is great. But you're still going to have certain conversations about, like, she's just mad with how society is in general. Like, because here it even shows uh, her legs are hairy, the mom's. But that's what a lot of the stuff, oh, and dad had long hair and a physics degree and blah, blah, blah. But it's like why didn't they have any of these conversations with her?
Yeah.
Like, so here, the most confident girl at the party raised her leg out of the water. Droplets rolled off her skin. Raised my leg out of the water in imitation of her. Instead of rolling smoothly away, the water beaded in my growing leg hair. Okay, like I don't understand. You're mad. What are you mad at society for? Because you didn't realize that. Like, then shave your legs, but she doesn't want to shave her legs. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of this stuff
Yeah.
is normal growing up stuff that you have to realize.
Yeah.
And then
And I mean,
she gets her
uh,
period. She didn't know that it would happen to her. Nobody had the conversation again that she was going to have her period.
yeah, you should probably tell your daughter that she's gonna have her period. And also with the shaved leg thing, like, I mean, who? I don't know. I never had that problem, but who walks around being bullied for not shaving their legs at that age? And if you don't want to, like, some stuff, geez, I don't know, if I do something that's like way out of the ordinary, I don't expect everyone to just treat me normally. Like, and some people are dicks too. Like, that's just reality. Some people are just idiots. They're gonna
Yeah,
bully you for anything. But you can't curve the world to fit you.
that's exactly the issue. Like, these
Yeah,
are just things in society that it's like she was raised a certain way by parents, it seems, that didn't, you know, um, adhere like to the cultural norms. She was raised by like hippies out in
yeah,
California, which is totally fine. But the rest of society is not hippies and they do
yeah,
certain things, and that's fine
yeah,
too. And that's all that is her not being aware that they're doing things differently, and people are assholes, like you said. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
Some people suck. It's just that simple. And also, like, if you flip it, if it was very normal for every girl to have hairy legs, and then you go and shave them,
right.
you're gonna have the same reaction is gonna be, but flipped.
Yeah, 100%. But
Yeah,
that's what I mean. So a lot of this is just like life isn't fair type of realizations,
yeah,
and that's just life for everybody. And a lot of
yeah,
other things, even uh, she's like likes people, but then doesn't, like, she just seems awkward with her sexuality at all. Doesn't want to masturbate. Nothing will go inside of me. She went to the gynecologist and they used the whatever the hell they're called, the duck bills. And that traumatized her so much that she's like, nothing's ever going to go inside me again. And I'm like, these seem like, again, this is a thing that you have to do to get checked, and you're just not, you don't want to do it.
yeah.
I don't know, don't do
Well,
it.
it's almost like people want to walk around their whole life without any obstacles.
Yes. Everything
And
should just be
that's
set up
weird
the
to me.
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, she got they came to her in school. This is the whole thing. One day the guidance counselor called me into her office. Can I see you for a minute? Sure. I'm going to bring up an issue that might be a little uncomfortable. Okay, do you wear deodorant? No. Some people have noticed that occasionally you have very strong body odor. Wearing deodorant might be a good idea. All right. Then they bought deodorant and it burned her armpits. All right.
Too
Like,
too bad. Too bad. Like that's almost like saying if I walk around the classroom farting and someone calls me on it, I get I don't know.
I don't
If
know,
you
maybe
smell,
you should shave or shower. Do you not smell? Do you not feel that you smell yourself? Like, and again, this is her coming from a ultra hippie
yeah,
family that wasn't like, hey, you should wash yourself before you go to school so you don't stink.
yeah, it's like talk to your kids.
Yeah. Okay, so here's
Yeah.
we're into uh I was 11 or 12 years old the first time I can remember fantasizing about having a penis. I was lying fully clothed on a hillside under an open sky. I held a folded I held a folded handful of grass between my legs, safe in the knowledge that if discovered, I could release my imaginary member and it would disintegrate back into scattered stalks. For years, my standard method of masturbation was stuffing a sock into the front of my pants and manipulating the bulge. Now, the next picture is to presumably guys, although whatever. This would evolve into hip thrusting while thinking of my latest gay ship. Memorably, I got off once while driving just by rubbing the front of my jeans and imagine getting a blowjob. How is this
From a
helping?
dude, from a wait, I'm confused. So she's
Dude, she's confused the whole he's confused the whole fucking time, okay? The whole thing is confusing.
so wait, wait, hold on. So she wants to be a boy
Yeah.
and she wants to get a blowjob from a dude.
Yeah. This
So
is how the
she's
whole
just
book goes.
so she's just straight. I mean, I'm not. I
Presumably, I
understand
don't know.
on the outside. Like if someone said there's a girl, she wants to
And
do
she
whatever with a
likes
boy, she's straight.
and all the girls that she goes for look like boys.
Yeah. So then, maybe it's like a dick phobia or something. Maybe it's not transgenderism. She's just scared of cocks.
Well, no, because then her one girlfriend got a strap on. Oh, here's another one that's definitely should be in a book for high school. When I finally got old enough to not be embarrassed talking about this stuff with my sister, it never really occurred to you to put something into your vagina, not even a finger? It really didn't. So you've never tasted yourself? What? No, ew. Wait, have you? Haha, of course, you should try. And so, now there's a picture, what looks like a dude with stuff on their finger, and it says vagina slime. And he goes, nope, can't do it. I refuse. I have an extremely low sex drive compared to pretty much all of my friends, and as a teen, I got bored of masturbation. So, but the whole taste yourself thing, this scene doesn't seem to lend itself to the outcome of the story. Why are we trying to convince her to taste herself in this book in high school?
Yeah, that just seems that whole part seems unnecessary.
Totally unnecessary. There's a lot of stuff in here that's totally unnecessary. This is my point. Like, okay, you want to have a book that's like, this is why I started looking into it. I don't feel comfortable as this or that or whatever, when people don't understand. Okay, that's fine. But why are we getting into how they masturbated and them imagining getting blowjobs and sticking their finger in their vagina and trying to taste it? How does this? Where is the point? Like when we had sex education, you had sex education. Was there ever a page in your sex ed book where it was like, you should jerk off into your own mouth so that way you know what it? You've never tasted it. You've never tasted it.
No,
Why
dude.
didn't you? Why haven't you tasted it? This is totally normal. Like that's just not in the fucking books. Like
The closest thing we got to something like that was like we got a wooden stick and they taught us to put a condom on. That was
yeah,
the only like thing outside of biology.
For safety with a partner, not getting
Exactly.
put a condom on so you can jerk off into it, or this is how you should masturbate, or
Yeah.
anything like that. Like, kids can figure out how to masturbate all their own. Like, we don't need to.
Oh, you don't need to
You can
teach
stumble upon
anyone.
that.
Oh yeah. You wake up accidentally jerking off. Like it's just that's
Yeah.
gonna happen no matter what.
So let me find the and
This
this
this is weird, man.
like this one. If so, here's a little struggle of what we were talking about. If I was trans, wouldn't I be saying I am a boy, not I wish I was a boy? I wonder, wouldn't I be more sure? And if I am trans, am I a gay boy or a straight boy or a
Oh,
bisexual boy? Except I'm not sure if I want to have sex. Does that mean I'm asexual? If I'm asexual, does my gender matter? So I can just be a girl, but I don't feel like a girl. What am I? Like, this is the whole thing is just. But most of this stuff, a lot of this stuff, don't you feel like you thought a lot of this stuff at one point, like about not I like I never was like maybe I'm gay because I was never attracted to guys at all. But
yeah.
like still there was a lot of trying to figure out what the hell was going on.
Yeah, I think everyone goes through that. That's it's not unique. And also I wanted to touch on this. So if you write a book then about a boy, so just because this is my experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
A boy, any boy, will go through confusing periods, especially in the teenage years. But if you write a book about it, you're not gonna write like, oh, hey, there was this boy Clint. He was finding out about his sexuality, and when he was in class, he looked at his teacher and he thought, I would like to tear that ass up.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't write that, you wouldn't show that, you
No.
wouldn't make pictures of him like fantasizing about. But every young, almost every young person goes through things like this and has fantasies about.
Yeah. But like you're
Yeah,
saying, if you had a book where it was um a guy from a boy's perspective, and he started talking about trying to imagine fingering girls and getting a
yeah.
blowjob, and they would freak out.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, let's be honest. Boys are nasty, and they think about a lot of crazy shit, especially at that age. And when you're 15,
Yeah,
I mean, you'll hump anything.
yeah. Sure, you're so
It's
crazy from hormones, you don't even know what's going on.
yeah, and but like you said, if they wrote a book like that on a dude on a teenage boy thinking about stuff like that, fantasizing about whatever his classmates or teacher or whatever, they would freak out and take that book off the shelf.
Yeah, for sure.
Because then in that case, that would probably be like toxic
I was
masculinity or
just
some
gonna
shit.
say that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the dildo one because the one girlfriend got a dildo, and then there's uh, pictures of them sucking it, and I'm like, again, this is not. Oh, this is so there's a picture with the person bent over, and there's like a pin all the way through their body. And this is represent how the wave of psychological horror came over her from going to the gynecologist the second time.
Mm.
Like, this is the thing when people say, being trans is a mental disorder or whatever. I don't know that. My theory is they don't have the correct amount of hormones from diet or endocrine disruptors that they're around or whatever, and we know that hormones dictate everything.
Dude, let me drop something on you.
Okay.
Dude, I did a recording with a professor who her name is Elizabeth Plurd, and she's been studying sunblock, sunscreen. Dude, I haven't released it yet. It's gonna go live in a couple of weeks.
Awesome.
Man, she said that like this whole thing is because of sunscreen and the water. Because she said,
Mm,
and I'm sure she's not 100% right, but it was very interesting because apparently the chemicals they put in sunscreens are more anti-testosterone than the treatment, the medicine they used to give to guys who had prostate cancer, because they used to think that testosterone was the thing that was causing prostate cancer.
oh man.
So she was saying they're finding fish that are intersex
Yeah.
because their hormones are all fucked up. And she's saying like even if you don't use sunblock, if you go in the waters where there's sunblock in the pools and everything,
Yeah.
this shit has a strong effect on people. This her theory is that because this all happened basically after they started pushing sunblock, which was like in 78. That's where it started like ramping up. And I don't know, it doesn't sound to me like it would be only sunblock that's causing this, but it was fucking interesting to hear.
Well, you know that Alex Jones said that they're turning the frogs gay long time ago.
The frogs
Yeah,
from
so
with
they're
sunblock or with what?
no with chemicals, but he's been saying that they're trying to obviously that statement is hilarious and everybody likes to run with
Yeah,
it.
for
But
sure.
yeah, with the chemicals and stuff, and they're basically chemically castrating us. Just even all these uh, air sprayers in your house.
Yeah,
That shit is
I
endocrine
don't have
disrupting.
those.
I mean, me neither. But most fragrances, period. Stuff for
Yeah,
your car, the things you plug into your wall, the things you mount on your wall to spray. All those things are
yeah,
horrible for your hormones.
yeah.
Horrible. And
Well, I
think,
mean, there's chemicals in fucking everything. Like,
yeah,
and on the point of the book, using deodorant, I heard is pretty bad for you too.
yeah. No,
Or can
all
be.
of
I
it
guess there's
is.
like natural ones that you can
Yeah.
use, but
Or you
yeah.
could be like this chick and just get in trouble at school for not using any.
Be be stinky minky over here,
So
you
then
know.
I'm trying to find the thing. So now here's a drawing of an elaborate fantasy based on Plato's Symposium, and it's got two people with penises. I'll just classify them that way, kind of in an embrace. And
They're in the
they're
middle of some sodomy.
yeah, exactly. They went directly to hell after that.
Yeah.
Oh, and then in 2013, I discovered Erica Moen's webcomic Oh Joy Sex Toy. In a comic from November of that year, she talks about the first sex toy she ever purchased, a $10 bullet vibrator. Moen writes, my first orgasm is still one of my most vivid, loving experiences. The first time I was ever loved my body. So she buys this vibrator and tries it and hates it. I tried on the lowest setting. That's what Erica used in the comic. I guess I just press it down there. This feels very weird. I don't like this. Okay, nope. Nope, nope, nope. Turn it off. That was it. Then gave it to her sister. This is not a joke. This is actually what happened. Hey, Phoebe, what's up? So I brought this vibrator. Oh, well, it's not that exciting because I don't really like it. I used it once for a little, like a minute, then I washed it super well. I'm not going to use it again, but I feel bad throwing it away. Do you want it? Haha, sure. Again, very important if you're confused about your sexuality or anything
Of
growing
course.
up, I would say sharing vibrators is probably a good.
Imagine, I just thought of this. Imagine if you have a brother and you buy like a
Uh,
flashlight
yeah,
and you fuck it once and then you go to your brother like, hey, bro, I fucked it once. I kind of cleaned it. Do you want it?
yeah,
That'd be fucking weird, man.
dude, super weird. That is weirder though. I don't know. Either way, it's kind of weird, especially since it's your sister. But
It's always more gross when it's dudes, I
yeah,
guess,
well, the thing about
for some
jizzing
reason.
inside this thing. Okay, here we go. We got to it. Fast forward, we've been dating for around 2 months. We've made out. We've had sex, air quotes, whatever that means in this scenario. We've worked on our sexting we moved on to sexting at work. I got a new strap-on harness today. I can't wait to put it on you. It will fit my favorite dildo perfectly. How are you? You are going to look so hot. I can't wait to have your cock in my mouth. I'm going to give you the blowjob of your life. Then I want it inside of me. Again, this is,
But wait, she's talking about a strap on.
yeah. So she wants to have a dick. So the girlfriend bought a strap to put the dildo that she already has in it so she can fuck her. So
Yeah, but
the
it's
girlfriend's
funny.
like, yeah.
I'm gonna give you the blowjob of your
Yeah, exactly.
life.
Well, they even go into it.
Not even your dick.
Yeah. This is the visual I've been picturing, and it's okay, so it's a very graphic standing there with the dick in the person's mouth. But I can't feel anything. This was much hotter when it was only in my imagination. Let's try something else, of course. So that's, you know, you know what I mean? I don't really. But
I'm so
now,
confused by all this, dude.
dude, this has got to be more confusing for kids than anything, because it's like the storyline in this thing is fucking. Everything we did today was a good experience, but now that I've had sex a few times, I'm not sure I really need any more. Trying to get off in front of
What?
someone is kind of weird. Yeah. I think
So
when
she's
I.
just asexual?
That's what she's been trying to figure out. I think when I do orgasm, it's not because of my body, it's in spite of it. What the fuck does that mean? This is helping nobody figure anything out.
This uh, if I was 12 or 13 and read this, I'd probably walk away way more confused.
Yeah.
Is am I crazy? But it's like when you talk to your kids about certain things, right? I mean, I don't actually think you have to talk to your kids a whole lot about sex and stuff like that, because I think, especially today, they're gonna look at stuff online and stuff like that. But if you're just, I guess, a decent human being, like a normal person, wouldn't you just tell your kids like, it's okay, whatever you like is fine. Don't choke people unless they ask you to. The pornos are not probably not a good place to like get
Learn.
ideas from
Yeah.
because there's some crazy shit out there. But talk to your partner, like ask them, like g- just be nice, and that's it. Like I don't care if you're attracted to dudes or girls or whatever, but it seems to me this is like a non-problem.
It is a
It's a
non
problem for
problem.
people who are confused, I guess, but we don't need to. I mean, your parents should figure that out, or a counselor or something.
Well, no, they just have books in the library now. You could go and confuse yourself even more. You know, like, does this help somebody?
It must. I mean, look at how many awards I got.
I,
It must have helped tons of people, man.
dude, it's like the awards for this shit is basically the same thing as all these guys winning Woman of the Year. You know what I mean? Like they're
Yeah,
just doing these awards because, or even nominating because they feel like they need to.
yeah.
Jana B. E is Jana B. E. So that's her. She's a E.
She's wait,
That's
say
her
that again.
sexuality. She's E. Just E.
She's E,
E. Yep.
and there's no definition for that in the book, is there?
I didn't see it. See, E Emeir. I use the Spivak pronouns. Emeir, as in ask what E wants in ear T.
What?
Dude, I was terrible at English, right? Terrible.
Emeir, air, air. What
Ear.
the?
Exactly. What is that? Can we find that? I need to find out what
E-M ear.
EIR was it? Yeah. Um, gender. Gender pronouns. No, you can't even. Pronouns explained. Is this like Spivak pronoun?
Spivak. What does
That's
that
what
mean?
she said. The Spivak
Oh, there it is.
pronouns are a set of gender neutral pronouns in English promo, promulgated on the virtual community Lambda Mu based on pronouns used in a book by American mathematician Michael Spivak. Though not in widespread use, they have been employed in writing for gender-neutral language by those who wish to avoid the standards he, she. The three variants of the Spivak pronouns are in use: Rogers, 1890, Elverson, 1975, and Lambda Mu, 91. I don't even understand what they're talking about. Highlighted in the declension table below. Masculine, he laughs. I hug him. Okay. Feminine,
What?
she. Singular, they. Rogers, E laughs. I hug M. S, warm-hearted. I don't
I don't
understand.
get it.
I don't mean either. These are the Spivak nouns are a set of gender-neutral pronouns in English promulgated. Like they don't even just explaining it. They even just the explanation of it doesn't even make any sense or use words that you would ever use. I've never seen that word promulgated.
Dude, the mental acrobatics you have to do to get this is fucking incredible. Why can't they just stick with that? Like, I'm not a fan of that they, them kind of thing, because that's like plural. But just pick one and stick with it. Why do you need fucking 50 of them?
It doesn't make any sense. But why did they need to be general neutral? Gender. Wait, this is the funniest part of this. Gender neutral pronouns, but then, oh, I guess that's why they're just using E or EM so that it doesn't have a she, he. But they, singular pronoun they. So why can't they just use, like you said, that doesn't make any sense either. Singular pronoun, but they is multiple.
This is some crazy stuff.
Along with its inflected or derivative forms, them, their, theirs, and themselves, is a gender-neutral third-person pronoun. It typically occurs with an indeterminate antecedent in sentences such as, somebody left their umbrella. Dude, did they teach this? They're not teaching this shit, are they?
Who
Like,
for? I wouldn't even be surprised.
you want to
Who
make
knows?
me fail English like way fast? Add this shit into it.
Oh, no, I'd say they're not probably teaching that in like regular school, right? They'll be like in the what are the new? There's like courses on this shit in university, isn't there?
I hope not. I'm sure there is.
Probably. Dude, like in like 30 minutes before we jumped on, and this is real now. I saw a video of a dude in his 40s who I assume he's got some skin in the game. He got the mushroom removed and he's got a gash,
So brave.
right? Yeah. He had went to the store and bought tampons and was filming himself using tampons for the first time. And make it make sense.
Where
What
was
the
this
fuck
on?
are you
Where was
doing?
he? I have a
Like
joke
Instagram
about.
or something. It's just popped up. Like,
So did it show him putting it in his ass?
no, I think he has a vagina.
Oh, okay, okay.
They kicked the mushroom inside out.
Got it.
And then,
Yeah.
so he actually has a vagina. And he
The
said, like, he was reading it. He was like, I heard that you don't want to pull a tampon out if it's too dry. So I'm putting it in with coconut oil. And then he's filming his face while he's doing it, and he's like, "Oh, I did it! Oh my God, I did it! You're a 46-year-old dude." But it's like, even if you transition, right? Even if you now have a vagina instead of a penis, you are not gonna menstruate. You're not gonna bleed. What the f and also, like, if you didn't have a camera, would you do that still? I'm pretty sure you wouldn't.
Dude, well, like you said, like they're just avoiding the fact that you're not having a period.
Yeah.
You can psychologically be like, you can't even. Like, you're not having the hormone influx that women have during their period.
No.
Period.
During their pyramid building days.
That's why. That's how they moved all those big stones. They were just living.
Some angry women.
They were mad and menstruating. Ah.
Dude, no, we solved it, man. Just put just put like 100 women on their periods there.
They can move mountains, dude.
They can do anything.
A group of women on their periods can move mountains, literally.
Oh man. No, but it's hilarious to me. It's like, look, so this is like a comparison. It's not even close, but it still makes the same point, right? So I used to date this girl. Her name was Emma. And one time I was like 20, 22. I think probably we had like the iPhone 3 or some shit like that. I don't know. But we had the
Sick.
iPhones with the cameras and everything. And then we went to my buddy's house and he had a huge fish tank. It was massive. Like I could lay down in there.
Uh-huh.
And my girlfriend at the time said, "Wouldn't it be fun if we jumped in the fish tank?" I was like, "Fuck yeah, that'd be hilarious." Because he had huge, like the fish was like this big.
Uh-huh.
I was like, "Yeah, that'd be fun," you know. And then she went, "Oh yeah, and then we can put it on like the Facebook profile picture." And I was like, "Wait, hold on. So if you didn't have a camera right now, you wouldn't do it?"
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh hell no." And I'm like, "You fake ass! Like, why do you even?" I wanted to do it because I thought it'd be hilarious because there was a
Yeah.
bunch of boys there and it would just be fun because we were idiots. And this is the same thing. Like, if you couldn't film it and put it on socials, you would never do it.
No. It's for the gram, right? That's what they say.
But that's such a oh
You know
fuck, I don't
what?
get it. It's
You
such
know
a
what?
retarded way of living.
You know what drives me nuts? When people have like a picture of themselves in their ER bed, and I'm like,
ER bed, what's that?
you know, like
Oh, at the
emergency room at
hospital.
the hospital. Yeah, they're like, oh,
Oh yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
ER, and I'm like, bro, you're not hurting. Anytime I've gone to the ER, the last fucking thing I'm thinking about is is taking a picture to post on social
Yeah,
media, because guess what?
of
I am
course.
fucked up. If I'm in the
Of
ER, I'm having serious issues.
of course. Of course. But that's the thing. That's the thing of living through social media, right? Everything is so fake that, and I heard this. This is kind of funny, actually, and I think it's kind of true. So my buddy went to, I think he was in Thailand or something, and they went to like an elephant show. And he said in front of him there was a dude sitting there. He took his girlfriend's camera and his camera also. And when the elephant walked by, he was filming it. And my buddy went, I thought of it when I saw it. That dude actually didn't see the elephant. Like he actually didn't see it. He
Yeah,
was just looking at the
yeah,
screen. He actually missed the fucking elephant. He might as well have just watched a video of someone else filming it
yeah, that's true.
because he was looking at it through a screen.
And it's never good. It's never good through the screen. You know what I mean? Like,
No.
go when you see a mountain, and you're like, oh fuck, you feel tiny, and you get this feeling about the mountain, and you're like, I'm just so small, and this thing's
Yeah.
huge and majestic and whatever, and then you're just like, take a picture, and you go, I mean, that looks, you know.
It looks whatever. And also, even if the picture looks magnificent, even then,
Yeah.
people don't want to see that shit because we've seen it 500 times before.
Well, it's like fireworks, right? What are all these people filming fireworks for? Has anyone
I
ever
don't know,
watched
man.
a fireworks celebration over again?
No. I one time, I think maybe it was this year or last year, I watched uh one of those like crazy fireworks shows from China or some shit at New Year's because we it was like the time difference. We didn't hit midnight yet,
Hmm.
and then someone put the TV on and they were showing like uh,
Oh,
uh, a pretty
all these other
spectacular like
cities?
firework thing from China.
Yeah.
And I was like, I watched it, but I would never go and watch it a week later.
No.
Like, why would I do that?
You're like, we're killing time for our New Year's
Yeah, we're
celebration. I
waiting
guess
for
I'll watch
our.
this. Yeah.
Yeah,
They do that here because by the time, and I don't know where you are you're ahead of us. Yeah. So
yeah,
by the time we have New Year's, dude, there's like so many places that have already had it. So there'll be just like
yeah,
hours of, of like different
yeah.
cities having fireworks or something by the
Of
time.
course. Yeah, you're like the last.
Yeah.
Who is where is actually the like the earliest to the last?
I would bet,
Australia or New Zealand is probably or no, probably the islands between. Like is that the Pacific
let's
Ocean
look.
or where's that? Like Bora Bora or some shit?
Yeah, I would imagine, or like Hawaii. It might be Hawaii.
Oh yeah. Because California, I'm 9 hours ahead of California and I'm 9 hours behind Australia's East Coast.
Dude, this fucking thing. Um, this is kind of confusing. Iceland. Where does it start? I want to say, yeah, Alaska
Uh-huh.
to like Russia. 0. They're like, this is in the middle. Why wouldn't you just start from one side? They started from the middle is at the western
That's my
side of
time.
Africa. You're -1.
I'm +1.
No, +1. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm negative
5.
5. Yeah.
Yeah.
So over here, Alaska.
There's one, I think there's like a -11.
Yeah.
Is there?
Yeah. -11 and yeah, -11, -12. But they split it weird. So is that the? I'm confused. So they got it right
Yeah,
in the
fuck
middle
it.
here, the middle of. So that's where the days split right there. That's the middle. That doesn't make sense because then you're.
I can't see it.
I don't know.
Fuck it, doesn't matter.
Do you know there's only one half-hour time zone change? Nova
One
Scotia.
half hour.
Nova Scotia is a half-hour different.
I think they do that in Australia too.
Oh, really? I
Yeah,
thought
and
that.
also in Australia, it's weird. It's between New South Wales and Queensland,
Yep.
at least for half the year, I think. I'm not sure on this, but when you drive across the border and you're just driving south, you're not driving east to west or west to east, it goes 1 hour. It changes 1 hour
Yeah.
just across the border, but you're on the same like uh lateral space,
Yep.
which is weird because it usually changes just east to west.
So
But I guess
a couple of
they
those, you could see the timelines and they would go like this around stuff.
oh yeah, because the
S-
state is like
So like the
it,
Iceland was, I think it was Iceland was like here was the thing, and Iceland was here. So they literally had the time zone go like that around it, and everything else was an
yeah.
hour later.
Well, I think it depends because in some places they don't want to do the daylight savings,
Yeah.
and in some places they do. So I think that's why that happens. But yeah. Anyway, what were we talking about? Why are we talking
So
about times?
uh,
Fireworks,
fireworks. There you
social
go.
media.
We got off of the yeah. So
Yeah.
here's a story, Changing America. The New York Times, this is by The Hill, which however you feel about them, I don't know. The New York Times avoided using genderqueer authors' genderless pronouns in an interview. Readers took notice. Like, this is how stupid this shit is. Everybody's in an outrage because
They avoided using it.
yeah, they just didn't use it, so they're mad about it. So back to the whole reason we originally got onto this. The school librarian sues for defamation after New Jersey residents complain about pornographic books.
Who was she suing? All the parents?
Yep. A longtime librarian at Roxbury High School in Morris County has sued a group of residents. She says defamed her by falsely claiming her library has pornographic books, and she is a child predator. Roxanne Russo Calavino, who has worked for the district for 15 years, says in court papers that at least 4 residents have publicly accused her of exposing children to inappropriate material. That sounds about right. Endangering the welfare of students and activities considered criminal. According to NorthJersey.com, the residents objected to the library having Maya Kobabe's graphic novel, Genderqueer, a memoir, on the shelf, along with other books critics have called sexually explicit. Well, now I need to see what the other books are. Why don't they mention any of the other books? Because the other books are probably really fucked. This, I guarantee it. I need to figure this out. But I guarantee you, because some of the pictures, remember the video that we watched? Where they had the butt plugs and all that stuff, and like it looked like cum dripping.
They're from some other book.
Well, but this is my point, is that in this, they keep mentioning that there's other books too, but they never actually say what the other books. So I feel like genderqueer is the most palatable of all those books.
That's why they feel they're ballsy enough to show that one, because it's like not that bad compared to.
Exactly.
Dude, I saw one. Fuck, I should have saved the video. I saw one. Someone was doing like a commentary video where there was a book, and I think this was for even younger kids, like 8 to 10, that age group.
Uh-huh.
I'm not 100 on that, but I think it was. And the story in the book is like a dude, let's call him Tom. He's 10, right? And then he meets Jerry, who's 45 and works in the garage.
Uh-huh.
And then he starts hanging out with him, and is like, it was like a pedo thing. Like,
yeah.
And again, I just saw a video. I don't know if the video was correct or whatever, but even just writing a book on, it's one thing to do it, like write a gay novel for adults.
Right.
But to include kids, like, and especially if there's an adult with a kid.
Yeah.
I mean,
They're like,
writing
no,
a
this
book
is
like
totally
that
fine.
is, I just can't wrap my head around it. It's weird, man. It's
because you don't touch children. That's why you didn't.
yeah. Well, yeah. It's weird. Didn't we talk about this thing? I told you the story how there was a trans dude, substitute teacher at my kid's kindergarten.
Yeah.
And then I was talking to a buddy because I was not comfortable with that completely. And then my buddy was like, "But what if other parents in your neighborhood wasn't comfortable with you around their kids?" And I was like, "That's completely fine.
Yeah.
Like, it's their choice. It's their kids. If even though I'm not a creep, if some other parents are like, 'Hey, I don't want you close to my kids,' I'm staying the fuck away."
Yeah.
That easy. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird with kids, right? Like, because I don't want to have any weird interactions with any fucking kids. You know what I mean? That
never.
I don't know, that well. And it's like, even with kids that that I know, like my friends' kids, I'm even weird about stuff. I'm like, you know what I mean? Don't, like, I don't know. I'm still like cautious because it's weird as being around somebody else's kids or whatever. And I know that obviously the people that I'm talking about, I'm good enough friends with that they're not worried about it. But I'm still like, don't want any perception of anything, to even be
Yeah,
out there.
yeah. I guess my whole thing is I don't understand. I don't really care at all about the alphabet people, uh, what they do or what. Just leave the kids alone. You don't
Yeah,
have to teach kids about this shit,
yeah.
even if it's straight sex. You don't have to teach them anything. And when it comes to the schools, I actually don't know. I don't think we have stuff like that in the schools here yet. But it's like it's. I don't think that's the school's job to teach you about this shit.
It's not. And why is like this book that we just went over? Is this really helpful for like
Yeah.
it's not educational. It's more so like there are other people that feel like you, which maybe should be like a group outside of school for people to get together or whatever,
Yeah, sure.
versus being like in the library. Uh, like it seems like there should be more so a support group or a place where people can go and talk about this stuff versus having a book just out there with very little context.
Yeah.
And
The-
again,
the-
I just don't understand why there's such a sexual nature to it.
yeah. I saw another video where there was and this one is I'm pretty sure is real because there was like a school board and there was parents uh were there for a meeting with the school board and one of the kids and this guy's like 12. He's literally reading from a book that he got from the library where it's like don't quote me on this, but in the book it's like uh a father or an uncle or something teaching a young boy how to eat pussy.
Yeah.
And like the way they
Unnecessary.
talk, yeah, it's just like, why would you write a book on that for kids?
What's the age range it's for? Do you know?
I don't know. I guess it was like, I don't know the school system in the US, junior high, maybe. What age
Ugh.
group is that?
So that's seventh, eighth grade. So you're going to be 11 to maybe 14 at the oldest.
Yeah,
That's probably
that
old.
was probably it.
Yeah,
That was probably it.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird.
It's super weird. And the parents are there complaining, like, why the fuck are you putting these books in front of my kids? It's
Who
not
Where
your
do
job.
these librarians come from? Like what is,
But
you know what I mean? Like who is the fact that that system is so creepy, right? The school system that takes care of all these kids, like, and they're just like, we're gonna be progressive and put, like, I just don't understand why there's it. Like I said, if that whole book didn't have any dildo sucking or vibrator purchasing or or anything like that, maybe I'd be like, okay. But the fact that that stuff is that graphic, if you were a kid and brought in a, we'll go to the same thing we were saying. If you brought in a heterosexual comic book that was like that to school, would they not freak out and kick you out of school? At least give you
for sure,
detention. At least give you detention.
for sure.
So then how is it in the,
Because they're a minority, I guess. Because they,
but why does that matter? It still
yeah.
should be the content of it, the sexual nature of it. Not
Yeah, but see, this is the thing too. The librarian, I'm not even convinced that that I'm so deep into, believing that there's a bigger agenda to all this that I'm not even sure that the librarian is the one who like ordered the books to be there.
well, they're being submitted to all schools, it sounds like, right? Because Wayne had it, it's in Kentucky, it's here, it's there. Why did this book even get on the list? To your point, like this is basically what you're
It's bigger.
saying.
Yeah, it's not the librarian's fault, I don't think. So I kind of feel, I actually feel kind of bad for her being accused of being
But do they not
a
vet what
pedo.
actually comes in on the list? You know what I mean? Like I'm interested to know, does the powers that be send them a list of books and they just go, "Okay, I'm ordering these books." Like because obviously every librarian is not doing their own due diligence. What should we have in this year? And they all happen to choose gender queer.
Yeah. Yeah, but also if you get a list of books and one of the names of the books is gender queer, it doesn't sound that bad.
Yeah, it's true. And so they would have to vet every single book and go through and be like, read all these to see what is in there.
Yeah, and look at all the pictures and everything. It would be different if the book was named like dildo sucking for like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
then they might notice it and cancel the order or whatever. But I think it's a way bigger agenda. Dude, have you seen the What is a Woman documentary?
No.
Oh my God, dude, if there's one film I could recommend you watch is Matt Walsh What is a Woman? And I actually, it's crazy because when you say that, it sounds like you're a big fan of Matt Walsh. He's a bit crazy too, I think, in other ways. But that documentary is a fucking masterpiece. Because basically, what he does throughout the whole documentary is he goes to universities, he goes to doctors, he goes to different places, and he just asks people, "What is a woman?" And these people, like even doctors, they go, "Well, a woman is someone who identifies as a woman." And he's like, "Yeah, what are they identifying as? What is that? Like, what is a woman?" And they just can't,
I
they're
know.
incapable of answering the question. It's hilarious.
Well, I'm trying to find, and this is obviously just some random site, Quora or whatever. But I'm trying to find how books get suggested. So, libraries do use technology to help them make decisions on which books to both purchase and de-access. For purchases, librarians will most likely rely on reviews and their knowledge of the community they are buying for. Recently, uh, ebooks, many libraries have been able to see what books their users are looking at and then purchase the most popular books. This doesn't really. For discards, most libraries keep circulation statistics and books that are not used. But this isn't like, does a list get, you know what I mean, pushed to the school? How to get
I don't
libraries
know.
to buy your book? Here you go. Let's look at this. Um, no. Yeah, I don't know. Maine school district pulled books from libraries as complaints. I'm sure it's the same thing. How do libraries? Yeah, nobody will tell us. I want to bet it's the same fucking book. Um, it's got to be like you said. Like it's the same way. This is what even the pandemic, right? Because
Hmm.
I was arguing with nurses online during all that shit, and they're like, "No, our doctors, blah blah blah," and I'm like,
Yeah,
"Are your doctors in that hospital doing their own research?" Well,
they're
no,
not.
no, because they don't have time because they're busy treating patients. So the
Yeah.
protocol that your doctors are following came from somewhere.
Hmm.
Where did that protocol come from? I'm not saying that the doctors at the local level are necessarily evil. I mean, this is basically exactly what you're saying. I don't think the doctors at the local level are necessarily evil. I think that they're following protocol that's coming down to them. It's being suggested. And
Yeah.
until they notice enough Same thing, until they have enough patients that don't work well with whatever you prescribe them, or until the librarian has a bunch of people call her a pornographer, child pornographer. She's not even sure that gender queer has all this stuff in it, you know? So, I
Yeah.
mean, I think, like you said, like, it's the bigger. That's why I was trying to find, which I couldn't. But it's like, who is the body, the sanctioning body that's suggesting books to the libraries to get each year? You know, who were the people that nominated that book for all those awards?
I have no clue. But I don't know how it works in the US, like who runs the school systems and all that. But yeah, I don't know. There must be someone above the librarian, at least,
Well,
you
that's
know.
it's
And
in
it's
so
not
many.
only that, but if you look at the whole, like at a bigger picture, they're pushing trans people into government. They're
Yeah,
pushing trans people into sports, into to everything. Like who's that? Is it your health minister?
I don't know.
There's some health minister. I think it's
Oh
in
yeah,
the
yeah,
US
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the fat
Yes,
girl with a cock
yeah.
who I mean, t uh,
It's like physical and
it's so
mental health
hard.
are
How do
not
you
their
wrap your
strong
head
point.
around that? She's she, he, they, them, ear is the fucking health minister,
Yeah,
and she is fucking crazy and
that's.
super overweight. What the fuck?
I agree. We are killing it
How?
right now.
At least get one who's fit. If you need it to be a trans person,
Yeah,
it's a fucking
agreed.
health minister. You look like death.
But I say Dylan Mulvaney, make them the health minister. At least they're thin.
Dude, honestly, how old do you have to be president?
I
35?
don't, I don't know. That's very,
85?
yeah, exactly. I was gonna say 35.
But
Very
I
low.
would not be surprised if that Dylan Mulvaney in 20 years is the president.
Please, I would
I would
love
not.
to think that we correct course by then and go, oh man,
Yeah.
we were being crazy in 2020.
I
Does
think
the,
we will.
I
But
hope
if it
so.
keeps going as it's going right now, I'm pretty sure that he that definitely could be a president in the future.
Have you ever seen Idiocracy?
No.
Dude,
I've heard about it though.
you
I
need to watch
recognize
it.
the name.
You need to watch it.
What is it?
It's a movie about how it's not Owen Wilson, it's his brother. Um, he's the main guy. Anyway, and Terry Crews is president. And it's just how dumb people
Harry
just,
Cruz is president?
yeah,
That must be funny.
Macho Camacho. That's the president's name. And it's just about how only dumb people are procreating. All the intelligent
Oh,
people are like, no way, man, not in this economy. You know, you got to do this and that and blah, blah, blah. And then just
yeah.
dumb people are just having like 20 kids. So then the world just gets exponentially dumber. They're in this, I won't give too much of it away. They're in this, they're having the Great Dust Bowl or something that's been dusty as fuck on Earth for like however many years.
Hmm.
And they can't figure out why. But this giant corporation, basically like Gatorade in the thing, it's like some sports drink, has convinced everybody that plants crave electrolytes. So they've been watering all the fields with this Gatorade
With
stuff,
Gatorade.
and nothing grows, and that's why it's so dusty. But it's like the whole thing is like you'll watch it and you'll just go, "This is actually happening. What the fuck?" You're like,
I haven't read that. What's the book? 1984.
me neither.
I haven't read it, but people say that it's like he predicted the future.
That's actually a prediction, though. Like, this is like how stupid can. It's like, this is like
Uh,
Simpsons predicting the future. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Where they make us something that they're like, this is so crazy. And then eventually life starts imitating what they said, and you're like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
All right, boss
Uh,
man.
it's it's crazy. The whole world has gone crazy.
Yes.
But also, if we get back to base, it's mostly the loudest idiots that we see. I mean, with all this shit, with everything really. If you walk on the streets, you're not gonna see all this shit.
No.
So it's almost like all the craziness is in a different dimension, and it's
Yeah.
only online.
So, but think about once
Almost.
people are more, I mean, there are a bunch of things actually happening in physical life, but they are pockets, like you're saying.
Yeah.
But imagine once people are more immersed in the metaverse,
Oh, for
and then what
fuck's
they're
sake!
inundated with is just all the negative stuff. They can make it exponentially worse
Of course.
just by making you think that that's everywhere all the time. We do have like San Francisco right now. I think it's San Francisco or San Diego. One of
Mhm.
them is closing down all these big high end stores
Why?
because they just keep getting looted.
Oh, I've seen that shit. Isn't it
Yeah,
like legal to steal under $900 or shit?
yeah.
That
And
is
and they're
fucking
so
crazy.
imagine this. The groups are organizing on social media and then going and hitting these places with
Yeah,
all the surveillance that we're allowed to do. With
yeah,
all of the shit that they've passed, this stuff is still happening. Like, what are we passing these laws for?
yeah. It, I think we talked about this on the last show, did we? I'm
Maybe
getting
a
like
little bit.
deja vu. Anyways, but it's like, I mean, it's completely different here. Honestly, I haven't really noticed. The only thing that's been crazy over here has been the pandemic. But after that, everyone's pretty normal. Like, so nothing crazy is going on as far as I can see. And they tried doing one of those uh let's have a bearded man in a dress read for kids at the library
Uh-huh.
down south here, but I guess the Muslims wasn't they weren't too happy about it. So they shut the shit down pretty fast.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but when I look at the US, but the shit that I see, which again is probably just, you know, the small minority of crazy shit that's going on, it seems like the people running the show are trying to destroy the whole country.
It really seems like that. Like
It,
if
it does.
anything you could do, like I said, those cities are like shutting down stores. Like they're basically becoming third world cities.
Yeah.
And all these people that have bought, have real estate there and all that, it's all worth nothing now. Everybody's businesses are worth nothing. Like, you couldn't ruin it faster if you tried.
Yeah.
So it's like,
But it's on purpose. It must be.
it
Like
has to be.
it's I mean, people will say, "Oh, politicians are stupid." Yeah, they're stupid, but they're not that stupid. I mean,
No.
it's not an accident.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. I don't know. It's just so many crazy things are happening.
Yeah, we're being attacked from all sides here for sure. And,
Oh, 100.
and even just, it's like, how do you fight back? When do you fight back? I don't know. Like even my parents were mad about that whole thing because they saw the
About the looting?
no, about the book in the schools.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They saw that and they were mad. And then my dad talked to his one friend and they were going to, I don't know, try and do something. Well, it turns out that his daughter works for the library somehow. So she's like, no, don't do it. So this is what happens. Polite people stand there and let it happen until, you know what I
You
mean?
cross a line.
Until it's no, they just keep letting the line get pushed and pushed and
Well,
pushed.
see, I think that's the thing. They take a little bit. So let's say look at the pandemic, right? They went full crazy on the
Yeah.
pandemic. Lockdowns, masks, vaccines, mandates, everything. So there was like a test, so they can now see how well it works.
Yeah.
So the next, you know how fucking easy people will put on a mask next time? I think less people will, because a lot of people woke up. But the ones who did, they still have they keep masks at their
Yeah.
house still in case of another pandemic. So it's so easy the next time to get people to do shit. So you just take a little bit at a time, and then people get used to it.
But they're also deciphering now who are the unruly people as well, the people that aren't going to go along.
Oh yeah, of course.
So that's also another dividing factor. And that's the whole thing of the surveillance, right? And I've been saying this. Facebook, putting people in Facebook jail is just trying to get people to get used to having your access to stuff removed after you've said something deemed
Yeah,
not kosher, you know?
yeah,
And people are just wear it as a badge of honor. Well, it's not going to be a badge of honor when you can't access your money to buy food. It's no longer going
exactly.
to be like, hey, check me out. I just got banned from my bank account for 30 days. Sick.
Yeah, it's not that cool then. But people are so slow to get it. Why are they trying to get rid of cash everywhere?
Yeah. So they can control you.
Of course.
Why are you not allowed I'm pretty sure it's like illegal to own gold in the United States. There's
What?
some kind of rule where it's like you're not allowed. It's weird. There's definitely a some kind of law like that where it's like some weird area. Everybody obviously does, and they haven't enforced it. That's why nobody cares about it. But pretty sure they could
Oh, so they
enforce
could
it.
like clamp down on gold owners, and then
Yeah.
gold is a weird thing, man. Gold is a very weird thing because a friend of mine, he owns some gold, and he was like, "Oh, you should put your money in gold because gold holds its value,"
Yeah.
and I'm sure it does. But then I was like, "It's just a metal, right? Why is it valuable? It's only valuable because we say it's valuable. We all agree that it's valuable because you can't really do shit with gold."
Yeah.
So if I'm hungry and you want to buy some shit off of me, or I mean, sorry, if how does that work? So if no, if you're hungry, you want to buy food off of me, and I have a farm, and you give me a rock of gold, I'm gonna be like, fuck off. I can't do
Yeah.
shit with that.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do with that? Like, but because we say it's valuable, now I can go and sell it and get money for it. But it's like it's a weird thing to me that gold is so precious.
Here you go. I just found something.
What is it?
So in 1933, uh, President Roosevelt's executive order 6102 required U.S. citizens to deliver on or before May 1st, 1933, all but a small amount of gold coin, gold bullion, and gold certificates owned by them to the Federal Reserve in exchange for $20.67 per troy ounce under the Trading with the Enemy Act of October 6, 1916, as amended on March 9th, 1933. Violation of the order was punishable by fine up to $10,000, 167,000 today, or in 2010, or up to 10 years in prison, or both. An exception to the order was listed in Section 2, gold coin and gold certificates in the amount not exceeding in aggregate $100 belonging to any one person, and gold coins have a recognized special value to collectors. So it's got to be special value, or you can't be over $100. Bottom line,
What?
confiscation did happen. It was repealed, but it could happen again in the future. Laws can and do change. So there you go. I guess they
Ah,
repealed it, but there's still, I think there was a limit or something like that.
it's weird.
It is weird. And you don't think that if something happens and they're just, all of a sudden they'll just be like, you have to give your stuff back just like they do with guns, you know? Like,
Yeah.
you have to give it back. If you get caught with gold, you're going to get fucked. And then at that point, where do you sell the gold? Like you said, now it's not even worth anything because nobody wants to buy your
Yeah.
fucking shady gold and get in trouble for it.
Exactly. But I think that's the whole difference with the Is the US the only country where it's legal to own guns?
I kind of think so. I want
Like,
to
I mean,
say,
you can own a gun here too, but it has to be for hunting, or you have to have a gun license, and then you have to keep it in the fucking safe.
right. Well,
I mean,
so
there's super strict rules.
it depends on state here because there are like New Jersey, New York, to have a handgun, you have to have all this license and shit. But like
Uh-huh.
down when I lived in Georgia, I just went to a gun store. They ran a background check, and I had a gun in like 30 minutes. A
Yeah.
pistol.
So I'm kind of torn on this. I think if you ask Swedes in general, they don't like guns at all, and they think your law is kind of stupid. But and I see one side of it as like, sure, if you didn't have all these guns, less people would probably get murdered. Uh, but also, if I lived in the US, I'd have a shit ton of guns for sure.
Listen,
I mean, I would, because if you're trying to get into my house, take my shit, uh, I mean, I'm not gonna let you,
people being
you know?
scared of having guns don't have guns.
Yeah, yeah.
You
And it's
know,
like
like,
I heard Rogan talk about this during the pandemic. He said his left leaning friends were calling him to get guns. It
get
was
a
like,
borrow
wait, what?
once.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can I borrow a gun? Are you
No, you're
fucking
not shooting
crazy?
somebody with my gun, you fucking idiot.
Yeah,
Like, go
what the
buy one.
fuck? And also, if you look at Sweden, for example, I'm not sure exactly on the numbers, but I think Sweden is like at least top three in Europe on violent crimes and
Mm-hmm.
shootings per capita.
Yeah.
So all the criminals still have guns.
Yeah.
Dude, there was like from New Year's to I don't know, whatever, how many months into the year, there's like 20 bombings.
Oh, wow.
They have hand grenades, dude. My buddy, his dog woke up. He lives in a kind of rough neighborhood. His dog woke up from an explosion, and he didn't wake up, but his dog woke him up.
Uh-huh.
And then he went there. Two fucking houses were halfway blown up because
Wow.
they threw grenades in there to because there's the gang wars and shit. So all the criminals now have guns, but I'm not allowed to have a gun.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense to me if you can't stop the criminals from having guns, then you kind of have to let me have one too, because how am I gonna defend myself?
Well, that's the whole argument here. You know, like
Yeah,
the states, there's clear evidence. Okay, this Chicago, some of the strictest gun laws in the United States.
they
Worst,
have
like,
most killings.
oh, dude, like thousands of people a year die from gun violence in Chicago, and it's some of the strictest laws.
Yeah,
New York is getting super violent. They have very strict laws. Like, then go to Wyoming, where there's still, from old days, there's still a law on the books that if you are carrying a pistol, it has to be loaded.
it has to be.
It has to be loaded because people would open carry a pistol, no bullets in it, start talking shit to somebody. The other guy would have bullets, and shoot
Oh,
that
and
guy.
then
And they're like, you have to
so it wouldn't
have.
be like fair.
Well, no, they're like, you're basically instigating them to shoot you if you have showing a gun and you don't have bullets in it
Yeah,
and you can't even defend yourself. So they made
yeah.
it's still the same. It's like $200 or $250 fine for open carrying a gun that's not loaded.
That's crazy.
But
But
and
then
guess
again,
what?
like if you look at a place like that, I wouldn't rob anyone.
Fuck no.
I wouldn't do shit to anyone because I know everyone's packing, So it,
Exactly.
it's even I heard someone say this for the school shootings. He was like, "Why don't we put veterans
Yeah.
who has nothing to do anyways, and they can guard the school
Yeah.
with a gun?" I mean, if you're gonna shoot up a school, you're gonna pick a school where they have no guns,
Well,
guaranteed.
that's what the one in Tennessee, the trans shooter. literally
yeah.
went to another school and they had guards or something, and then they went to the other one that was a gun-free school zone.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Another thing that's kind of crazy, I don't know where this is in the US, but I think there's like a law where as if you get into a fist fight with someone and the cops are there,
Mm-hmm.
the law is like you're allowed to do it and the cop is the ref.
That's awesome.
It's legal to and I'm like, fuck yeah, because if I mean if you agree that you want to fist fight me and we have a referee who's like, hey, no weapons, no nothing,
Yeah.
no kicking my head when I'm on the ground, that kind of stuff, settle beef, like do it. Why
Yeah.
not?
I agree,
I don't see a
100%.
problem there. That's better than it being illegal. And then I don't know. So I'll tell you a short story. So where I grew up in Sweden, if you say the name of this place to anyone in Sweden, they go, "Ooh, you grew up there."
Uh-huh.
It's one of the craziest. I've had I think 6 or 7 guys that I grew up with been murdered in the last like 7 years
Wow.
because they're still like living that life, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And um, if you look at like Swedish, because I was so there's tons of immigrants there. It's like 99% immigrants in that area. I was like the only pure Swede,
Uh-huh.
pretty much. Like I was maybe one, maybe there was 3 Swedes out of 400 students
Wow.
in my school. In that school, when some shit happens, like if you talk shit about someone, there would be a fight.
Yeah.
We would fight, there would be a fist fight, and then we'd be cool. And then I met people who went to like all Swedish schools and stuff like this, and they were bullying each other like crazy.
Yeah.
They were like super, like people would be bullied for 4 years, and I was like, I don't think that happened in my school because we just if
Handled
you had a
it.
problem, they handle it, and then it's fine. And I'm not saying violence is a good thing, but I think that I'd rather get smacked in the mouth one time than be bullied for 3 years.
Yeah. For sure.
Because the immigrants are way more likely, I think, to throw some hands than most Swedes are.
Yeah. Well, that's how it was here too. We had well, New Jersey's terrible. Everybody just wants to run their mouth and then
Yeah,
not get hit in the face. And ironically, the people running their mouth the most have never been hit in the face, I find.
that's always how it is. That's always the case too.
Yeah.
And
But
it's not like the gun thing and the violence. It's people will say, especially here, they go, "Oh, you just like violence," or you. No, not at all. But I think I don't know.
if two people if
In
two
some
people
way,
want to handle it the same way and it happens to be a fist fight,
if it's agreed upon and there's some rules there,
yeah.
why not? Well, I don't see why not. And then, like the whole thing about people say guns are bad and all this shit. Well, guess what? In Sweden, for example, or in most other countries, the government has a monopoly on violence.
Yeah. It's true.
They really do because if I refuse, like at the end of the day, so let's say I get a fine for something and I don't pay it, and they double the fine, they give me another fine, I don't pay it. Eventually, they're gonna put me in jail. And if I don't show up to jail, like if I escape, if I don't show up to jail, they will violently come and get me. So
Yeah.
they're the only people who can use violence, and it's completely okay when they do it.
Yeah, and that's why we have guns. That's why we have the Second Amendment as spoken about by our founding fathers. It's for the government. It's not for hunting.
Yeah,
It's not for self-protection. It's for the government. That
a
if
tyrannical government, right?
Exactly. And
Yeah,
that's the same reason why they want to get rid of them. Because right now, that's why they freaked out about January 6th. And they're trying to paint it as like the worst thing that ever happened when there was much less violence at January 6th than there was at all these other riots.
yeah,
Because that's the faction of people that would actually get together. See, here's the thing. If they had those people together with the other people protesting, right? And they all showed up to actually enact change, they'd be SOL. But so that's why they're trying to keep the two groups separated and then go
Yeah.
after all the people with the law-abiding citizens with the guns and make like that whole movement is a complete extremist, deal. And it was like the craziest thing that ever happened because they don't want that type of, you know, people to band together and actually push back against the government.
Yeah. Yeah. It's weird. It's so weird, man. I don't know. And on one side, I wouldn't wanna. I guess in my, I don't know. It's weird. On one side of me, I don't even want to own a gun because I haven't had to use one yet. But it's like that time when you do need one. Like if someone breaks into my, actually had this discussion with my family like a week ago because so my mom and dad they have a house in the woods where it's like a summer house, and they've had at least probably 5 or 6 times people broke into the house and stole shit,
Uh-huh.
and they don't have anything valuable there. It's just crap, but they steal like their power tools and all this
Yeah.
stuff. And the last time they took everything, and my dad was like pissed, and he was looking at security stuff to put there because the house is literally in the middle of the woods. Even if you call the cops, there's no
Nobody's
way
getting
they're
there.
gonna get there in time. And my dad saw something where it's like apparently if you break in, there's some sort of frequency and some sound that comes out that makes you really sick.
Mm-hmm.
It's like some weird stuff, like a beeping thing but the frequency is so that whoever's in the house, you're gonna get like dizzy, you're gonna vomit,
Uh-huh.
you're gonna crawl out of there. Like, and then he looked it up, and it's like it's illegal to use it in Sweden.
Uh,
And then we talked about it. I was like, why is that illegal? That's stupid.
because you're harming the criminal.
Exactly. Because it's like a violent thing, but don't come into my house.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Like because if you break into my house, if I'm home and my family's home, if I then murder you, even if I just hit you one time but you die, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go to jail.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is like when you come in, I don't know if you're there to just take the TV or if you're there to kill my kid.
Right.
I have no clue. So obviously I'm gonna act as if the worst case is gonna happen.
Yeah, but we're hindering people to protect themselves. We're
Yeah.
making it, there was a guy in, I don't remember where it was, but somebody was robbed or something and they shot the person and that person's facing like manslaughter charges.
Did he shoot him inside his property though?
I think so. I think it's all like should
Oh,
be legit, but it's the state. If you were in Florida, um, then you can, if somebody breaks into your property, you can shoot them. But wherever this was, I don't think they had that, and it's like insane.
yeah. Yeah, that's weird, man. I don't know.
All right, buddy, I gotta go and do some other
Yeah, yeah,
things.
me too. This is fun.
Yeah, good chatting. Thank you
Yeah.
guys for watching, and yeah, we'll be back next week with some more.
Yeah, buddy.
Later,
I got